Another one recent. He's done Joe Biden, Are You Too Old? Oh my God, this will be a laugh. Yesterday's was, apparently it was a laugh. I didn't find much laughs in it. He did a song at the end and pretended to cry. I don't believe that he cried. I think he's just trying to play up to the religious ladies. But apparently he had quite a lot watching that. Apparently. 200 views here for this Joe Biden one 3 hours ago. So what you've got to bear in mind is every YouTube video that I've ever done gets most of its views in the first couple of hours. So by tomorrow, those views will have died down. So you get your 2/3 of your views in the first few hours. And then you get the last third of your views as it dies down. But with Alan, all of his channels, all of his videos, it's the other way around. He gets a small amount of views while it's live. And then afterwards, he gets another big increase when he pays for the views. What's this? Just in a line or what?
Let me know when I'm visible to the general public.
You are visible from the minute you press go. It's never a case of wait until they type it in. They're on a delay, so they see you at the minute you press go. You are visible now, and then you might as well start talking, and they will come in as the delay comes in. They will always be at a delay. So how have you never figured this out?
What day is it? Where am I? What year is it? What month is it? Who am I?
Alan.
Tonight's show is about Joe Biden. I'm feeling sorry for old Joe. I'm a lot younger than him. I'm still hanging on to my 60s. Joe is 81. Joe is 81. But it's not a problem being 81. I know 81-year-olds are sharp as a tack, right?
Not you. You're slurring your words.
Joe is not sharp as a tack.
Alan's wearing his prison issue grey jumper. This is what they make you wear in prison.
And I'm hoping you can take this from someone across the pond, America.
America.
I'm going to look at this tonight because I'm not liking what I'm seeing. It's embarrassing. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't support Trump or Biden. I don't support any of them.
Okay, but I think the women that you have supporting you, I think they might support Trump. Although one of them supports Biden. I think one of them's a Democrat in Texas, which is a bit of a weird position to be in. But the majority would support Trump.
Support America because where would we be without America?
I support America. How do you support America? You watch all their telly.
We'd be Russia come China by now, wouldn't we? They want to do that anyway. They're infiltrating our countries and
Infiltrating.
filling us with
Chinese food. Infiltrating our countries and filling us with yummy Chinese food. Big ups the original, CJ. Are you just scrolling around Twitch? Yeah, it's not got a very good discovery system, has it? 50 and a half naked ladies. Although, you know, if I had the lady parts, I might be willing to wave them for the old money. So actually, I've got the male parts and I don't wave them for the money, do I? So maybe I wouldn't.
what I call people that would be traitors to us.
Instead, I bully an old man on the internet. Come on, buttons. I'm pressing you buttons.
You know what shouldn't be on YouTube.
Bullies an old man on the internet. No, look, this is Alan. If you don't know who Alan is, he's a bad, narcissistic, bad man, bad narcissist, and he got deleted off YouTube. So we watch his stuff sometimes and critique it.
Suppose the war. I don't see these 3 million people we've imported.
And you might notice that's his microphone behind him. He has his microphone set up behind him. So that's off to a bad start, isn't it?
Into our country, joining the army anytime soon to fight against an invaded nation, do you?
The Chinese people are not going to join
It's
the
the same
army.
in America. You are importing people that don't like you.
I don't want to join the army.
Not only do they like you, they're not going to integrate with you, and they're going to build their own society
Oh, God, we're doing racism now.
within your society, and they're going to make no-go areas, and they're going to
Don't go down Chinatown.
make walking down the street dangerous.
Walking down the street is now officially dangerous.
That's just a prediction.
It's just a prediction. It's all the kung fu going off.
I'm lucky. I'm getting to the end of my life.
You're lucky because you're going to die.
My grandchildren aren't so lucky.
Why? They've got their whole lives ahead of them. You got that the wrong way around.
I never thought I'd say that.
You never thought you'd say that.
Why am I wearing a Kansas Chiefs cap?
Because you want to hide your terrible haircut.
2 reasons. One, because it was given to me by a supporter when they last won it. I don't know what year that was. 4 years ago, something. So I'll be sort of supporting them tomorrow in the Super Bowl.
Ooh.
And the other reason is out of respect to the 3 young men that died in that backyard.
You're wearing that hat, which you've been wearing on and off for the last month or so, out of respect for people who died in America. And also because, you know, Super Bowl tomorrow. Super Bowl tomorrow, so I thought I'm wearing this hat here, look. It goes on the back of my head. It's just a normal cap, right? But it goes backwards like that. My headphones push it back. Like, just it happens. So I'm wearing it like a skull cap out of respect for all the dead Jewish people. And also in celebration of the Super Bowl.
So sadly, this month, January, sorry.
I'm wearing it. When I said the sad Jewish people that died, I meant the ones that died in the war, not the ones that died in Gaza. Fuck them ones. Free Palestine. But the ones that died in the war, I'm sad for them. The Second World War. Look, it doesn't... Oh no.
I dream about food every night.
Now hold on, Lorraine.
Yeah, look, I was just making jokes. Really, I don't, I feel sad for all the people that go to the Super Bowl.
Which we talked about last night. But tonight's show is about America, who I respect and adore.
He adores America because the ladies there give him the monies.
I love America. I just do. But the thing is, to you people in the US,
you people,
where you have one candidate for presidency delivers an hour-long speech about
reading this now,
he's going to be a dictator and shut this and open that, and it's all right. That's one guy, right?
Which guy?
But really, the talk is about whether the other candidate has lost his marbles. Can I say that? Has Joe Biden lost his marbles is the subtext tonight.
So, wait. We're going to have Alan Vinicum. Alan Vinicum, it's not subtext, Alan. It's the overt thing you're discussing. He's got his microphone behind him. He's painted a picture of what looks like Adolf Hitler on the wall. And that picture has been green screened, but you can't tell. But there is something behind it. It's not the alien face today, but it is being green screened. You can't tell. Alan Vinicum wearing his Kansas hat and his prison issue jumper. Alan Vinicum who got deleted off YouTube. Alan Vinicum who couldn't find a bar of soap in the bathroom. Like the man who thought metadata was a grisly true crime watermark atop a piece of video. This man is going to critique the mental faculty of the leader of the free world. Like, do you see the issue here? I don't know if your opinion on whether Joe Biden is mentally fit for office is a good opinion, since you don't know, never met the man, you haven't got anything to go on, and you yourself are not doing quite as well as Joe Biden. So I'd rather have Joe Biden than you for a million %. So let's have Joe Biden's fine and you're not. That's where we're starting from. You're in the shits and Joe Biden's doing quite well. Let's open up the critique.
And that's that's one way to put it. It could be he's got Alzheimer's.
It could be he's got Alzheimer's. Regardation police can have fun with that clip.
If he has, it's cruel what they're doing.
Yeah, it's cruel.
Putting him in front of the camera with Alzheimer's is embarrassing and cruel.
Right. If Joe Biden had Alzheimer's, then forcing him to go through the motions of being president is cruel. Unusually cruel, yeah. And it'll probably backfire.
Because you can pull all the strings you want on him, but he's going to make gaffes.
No, the way I see it, just before we get into the detailed analysis from Alan, is that Joe Biden, over his political career. Maybe, let's be fair, like the Hillary Clinton run, a bit earlier. Like he's been present in the Democrat Party and all this. They wait their turn, they have their times. There was, wasn't he vice president to Obama? So there was these processes, and then it became his turn, so to speak. Like he had his go, and he did quite well, didn't he? But let's be fair, he's quite old now, and like he could have been in his prime maybe a few years before, but he's having his go now, and he's not completely off his rocker. Like he might be a bit slower on his feet, like here or there, or I'm not even bothered if sometimes when he's just having a chit chat, he might not say the right. I say the wrong word sometimes. Like normal people do things like that. What's quite important is that he doesn't accidentally fall asleep and sit on the nuclear button or something. But I don't think he's down that road, is he? So, like, I think he's all right. Like, elder statesman that he is, like, give him a free pass for big ups me and Green. Not being able to ride a bike really well doesn't mean that he's not going to be a good president, in my opinion. So one of them, they've had a president, believe it or not, that was in a wheelchair. So he couldn't ride a bike very well either. So I don't think it matters. I think it's his mental faculty that matters. And I suppose the other side, the Trump side, they pick out a load of stuff. They make a load of fake. They do make a load of fake videos as well. People do, making him look really dumb and stupid. But like, I don't think he's that dumb and stupid because he's got himself in position of leader of the free world. And one of the things I do like is, like, although I don't know all about all his decisions everywhere, he seems to be quite chill and quite like low-key in lots of ways, which I think is kind of good because it doesn't escalate like major wars and but there is wars going on. I don't know. Like, don't get me started on American politics. That's not my bag, is it? But yeah.
All the time. Anyway, it's not our business.
And I don't know his deep history. Like, there's some pictures of him, like, cuddling a little girl, and people go, "Oh, he's cuddling a little girl." I don't know. I haven't seen any of that. I don't know. Donald Trump said to grab him right by the pussy. I heard him say that. So I don't know, like, basically. But the question is he in charge of his mental faculty? Is he capable? And I suppose the only way we could see that is if it's weird, isn't it? Could you imagine a presidential election that was a bit like the Krypton factor? Like, again, I don't know if you'd have to do this because the Krypton factor's got an obstacle course in it. But like, should they have like a general knowledge round? Like, I'd actually quite like that. Could you imagine if the presidential debate had like the two candidates and there was like, a general knowledge round? Question 1 on the buzzers. What O is a form of Joe Biden? Sorry, what? Hey, what? Sorry, what? Hey, what? Donald Trump. I said, Joe's a nice guy, but he don't know what's happening. I saw Joe. I said, Joe, he doesn't know. Joe doesn't know what's happening. Joe doesn't know what's happening. We need a president who can tell China, I'm going to build a wall. It's going to be the best wall. Mexico are going to pay for it. You're right, Ma. Daddy making noises. Ah, you little boy.
President of America, it's you Americans, but if he calls a press conference where he insists that his memory is fine,
and then calls another press conference 48 hours later to insist that his memory's fine, we might have a problem.
The occasion was a publication of a Justice Department report that cleared Biden of criminal charges over his handling of a highly classified material. The year-long investigation was carried out by Special Counsel Robert Hur, who happened to register Republican. And his report specifically mentioned the president's significantly limited memory.
Oh, yeah, but like you said, it was a Republican who's like trying to say, oh, there's all politics going on. And you struggled over even just saying the words, not because you're dyslexic, but because you might be drunk.
One way of putting it, right? Mr. said that's why they didn't bring him to trial, because he can't really present himself to a jury. It's not fair, is it? They can't even charge him because they think it's cruel. They think it's too cruel to charge him for making mistakes, but they don't think it's cruel to let him have the button that blows up the world. Where did I put that button again? Oh, I must press it sometime. This is ridiculous. I know he's being handled. Yeah. So we can be sympathetic, well-meaning, but he's an elderly man with a poor memory, isn't he? Let's be honest. I mean, like, he's a gift to Donald Trump. He's not that much younger, but he's a lot brighter. And Donald will give fake sympathy for this old man. And that's fake.
I wonder if Donald Trump is actually not less bright than Joe Biden. I wonder if you set them both a written exam whether Joe Biden might win.
Sympathy.
Like, Donald Trump said some pretty out there stuff over the last few years, I have, you know. Hasn't he? Hasn't he said some pretty fucking weird shit?
He's a tone higher than open attack. Biden almost left the stage last night when he returned to the podium to take questions on the Israeli-Gaza conflict, right?
What it is Alan just bases his show off. He's got a news report open on his desk,
in which he unfortunately referred to the Egyptian leader, Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, as the Mexican president.
Whoops. Well, let's be fair. Joe Biden sees about like 50 different world leaders like going off and coming on. Like, made a mistake about which one was who.
Called the Egyptian leader the Mexican president.
Whoops.
Arriba, arriba, arriba!
What was that? Do we need to make a clip of that?
To the Egyptian leader, Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, as the Mexican president. He called the Egyptian leader the Mexican president. Arriba, arriba, arriba! It's funny, isn't it? But it's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. It's just a little slip of the... It's not a major thing. It's not like, if I was doing Joe Biden's job, I think at some point I would confuse who was who, like, out of all the different world leaders at some point. I think I would.
Come on. And I'm not on anybody's side. I'm just saying, if he's going to represent you in the world, you're going to be a laughingstock.
Well...
This is always going to be happen because...
I think he knows who Putin is.
He just insisted the same day that his memory is great, right? You probably forgot he said it. The truth is, universally acknowledged that people corrected someone else's grammar or spelling will normally involuntarily commit some howler of their own in the process.
I don't know what you heard about me, but no biscuit and $1 out of me. No Cadillac, no perms you can't see. I'm just a mother M-I-M-P. M-I-M-P.
I do feel sorry for him. On the other hand, according to the polling, Biden's age and cognitive glitches are his biggest vulnerabilities with voters.
You're just doing it now. You're not even able to read the words. At least Biden could do the auto cue.
Where's Nancy? Where I want it. Where is Nancy anyway? As for his likely opponent from this armchair detective diagnosis, is almost definitely going to be Donald Trump.
Isn't that weird? It's like read it and he realised it was talking about him, as if he's supposed to be the one that's reading it. In this armchair detective's diagnosis, so somebody's written him a script and he's reading it for the first time ever without realising that was supposed to have the inference.
Vulnerabilities with voters. As for his likely opponent from this armchair detective diagnosis, is almost definitely going to be Donald Trump. I think he's unbeatable on the other side.
So someone's written this for him. It's not even his thoughts. It's not even his opinions.
But Trump is a mere 3 years younger than Biden. Often works with a wobble.
Or is he just doing the Wikipedia and he just threw that in?
And himself confused Nikki Hadley with Nikki Passotti in a rant. So is it fair that one should face...
Speeding him up now.
...with more scrutiny on a lost plot than the other? Whatever, Biden is coming across a lot worse out of the two of men. Biden can like deny it and Trump can keep dying his air. I don't make the rules of life. I wouldn't like to be president at 69. What it must be like at 81. I don't
What?
know.
You wouldn't want to be president? I know it's a stressful, like, you got to get up and do stuff. But if they just rang you up tomorrow and be like, listen, we've had a bit of a think. America's offered you the job. Alan's going to turn that down. I'm 69 now. It's too much for me, really. No. You'd have a right crack at it, wouldn't you? What?
It's like, they say that as we get really old, we become childlike, right?
No, you've been a child all your life, you know. Oh, Alan.
There is no child porn on the internet. I hate to warn you that. There is no child porn on the internet. I checked.
Big ups Kelly with the bowl of noodles.
High heels on my
Noodles.
I got a big armchair. Oh yeah. I got a dog. I got a pedigree dog. As much chicken as I can eat.
Become childlike. So you've got a president in front of you. You're supposed to admire and look up to and listen to and respect. When in fact, those surrounding him, they're always like, yes, Joe, leave it to us, Joe. Yeah, all right, Joe. You go and sunbathe in Miami, yeah? We'll see you next week. And that's what it is. He doesn't even know his way to the podium. I shouldn't be laughing. But what else can we do? And then, if one of those two wins the election, one of those two is going to win the election. If Biden wins, he'll be still doing it for another 4 years, right? I don't understand you Americans. Please tell me that it's all about money, that whoever's got the most money can become president. That's the only reason I can think that Biden's president. You must have somebody better on your side who can represent you than Biden.
How can it all be about who's got the most money when Joe Biden is president? Like, he's not the richest man in America by any means, is he? It's that the Democratic Party, it's in their name, Democratic, and like he's sort of the elder statesman of the party, and like there's a sort of, obviously Kamala Harris, you could argue after Obama maybe she would have been a natural, but you've got to suggest who's going to win the election, the most votes overall, and like there's this balanced transactional, weighing up of it all. But on the other hand, Donald Trump, loads of monies. So there is that aspect.
I made a song last night about him.
I made a song? It's copyright material that you talked over.
You raised me up about Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. You did that for Jesus because you've got an evangelical Christian follower who gives you money, and you did that for her.
Raising us up when we die, I did it for somebody, a friend of mine. I did it for them.
See?
I know about age. I know that life is short. I know that it ends. I've done another song today you see on my show, on my Facebook, called It's All Right, which is about how short life is. That 1 minute we're boys and girls and we fall in love at 19, 20, and we have children, and the hustle bustle of life takes us through and takes our short life away, and suddenly we're old, and we look at each other and we say, I want you here when I die. And it's one of you does. And it's like, and that's that song. I put that on there. If you like to think about life, then take a look at that song that I did tonight. It's not really, it's about...
What the fuck are you doing? Creepy, emotional manipulation. I just want you to have a look at that song, really. We just want you to think about all the death and the sadness, and I just want you to get really emotional. Just really, come over and have a good look at this emotional. Got you really emotional. I'm such a good guy.
Love, but it's about a lifetime of love and the end of life. That's what it's about, end of life. And so that's why I'm not really taking the mickey out of Joe. I understand age.
Right, although you just spent the first 10 minutes having a pop at him because he's old.
Let me give you some examples. So I mean, you in England probably haven't seen his gaffes, right? Maybe you have. Maybe you haven't. Let's look at some of his latest stuff.
Here we go.
It's time to get back into the debate. What do you think, guys?
It's still spinning, which means Joe...
What do you think, guys? He says, in response to reading this for the first time ever, like, what do you think, guys? It's a jump Lego brick on top debate. What do you think?
Biden is still embarrassing the United States on the world stage.
Because that's really important engagement on a video. So if I do a topic that's like really divisive and I ask all your opinions and just don't say anything about it, maybe you'll write loads of comments.
This week he was in the UK visiting the King's Royal...
This is good, Alan.
Royal
All herky-jerky.
To no one other than everyone knows except Joe Biden.
Unwatchable. Oh.
Listening to the guy saying, God sake. Joe Biden isn't the only problem who has trouble with military parades. Biden's Australian twin in Germany. Joe Biden. Biden went on CNN to talk about how the war in the Ukraine was
So
going.
this is really bad. I can't watch this because it's herky-jerky and it's awful. So I'm going to skip through that.
They keep sending him away. Oh no, he's back again. Send him off somewhere else. You've got to run the country. We can't run the country. Put him on holiday. Look, I'll be honest with you. I'm getting to that age now where you want to kick back, right? Late 60s, 70s. Sensible, ordinary people find the strength to turn to their family and say these words. Be honest with me. Do you think I still should be driving? That's where they are. Should they even still be driving? Let alone running the world? Ugh.
Do you think that's why? Wait. You know, he said he sold his car recently because he didn't want to give it to Frankie Rusick in the court case. Do you think they took his car off him because he had trouble with his driving? Like, we wouldn't know, would we, if Alan had crashed his car behind the scenes? Like, do you think he reversed into something on the driveway or like fucked it up in somewhere and his family have said it's time for you to have the car took off you? Or do you think he's blagged them and said, right, I'm too old to drive now, so you're gonna have to pick me up all the time?
Defy rationality. Like some dark lord, some like Doctor Who characters who can live forever.
You're right, boom.
I don't know. You see, like, endless criminal charges against Trump. He laughs at them all. And then he goes, oh, well, let's play this one. I don't know. Geriatrics running the world. And he got Putin that's like, I don't know what's wrong with him as well. I think he might have some multiple sclerosis or something. He can't hardly walk and stuff.
What?
It is worrying for world peace when the leaders are like this.
What?
It's chaos.
Chaos.
It's chaos when they try to do a press conference to the White House. Here he is.
One of the reasons you were not charged is because in his description, you are a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory.
I will be a man, and I put this country back on. I need his record. So
It's your memory. And you continue as president.
So it's unwatchable, Alan, your streams. They're unwatchable. Skip it on a bit.
the United States, the job I started.
What's he doing? No, still unwatchable. Playing Sky News Australia, but it's unwatchable, so we'll skip past that. Oh God, there's a lot of it.
Right now, in a poll yesterday, US voters revealed they think Joe Biden is incompetent, old, and if there's an election tomorrow, I can tell you now that Biden would narrowly hold on to the White House, according to this poll.
Biden.
Although he's described as senile and corrupt, and his vote is too old by 71%.
Joe Biden.
And if there's an election tomorrow, I can tell you now that Biden would.
Biden. My guess is that whoever's written the script has made a spelling misprint and written Biden, and he's just read it word for word. Like, that's not dyslexia because you know who you're talking about. So dyslexics would see the word and have trouble reading it, but think to themselves, I don't read well, but this is Biden we're talking about. So Biden, like Biden.
Narrowly hold on to the White House. America think right now. In a poll yesterday, US voters revealed they think Joe Biden is incompetent, old, and if there's an election tomorrow, I can tell you now that Biden would narrowly hold on to the White House.
Biden. He literally just said his name in the previous sentence. Biden. Osama bin Biden. Bin's back. Biden. Where did he get Biden from? In the bin with Biden. Yeah. Vote Trump in the bin with Biden. Biden. Where did he get Biden?
I think right now. In a poll.
Oh, is it a real? Wait, is it a real campaign slogan? Is it? Is it?
US voters revealed they think Joe Biden is incompetent, old, and if there's an election tomorrow, I can tell you now that Biden would narrowly hold on to the White House, according to this poll. Although he's described as senile and corrupt, and his vote is too old by 71% of voters, he's still looking to win the election. This result suggests Gavin Newsom, the Democratic governor of California, has a lot of work to do if he's to answer the call for those in his party who want a younger, challenger. Of course they do.
It's weird because Alan's arguing on both sides of this, isn't it? He's like, Joe Biden's too old, he can't do it. And then Alan's also old, and he's like, I'm so old that I might die, but I'm really good, and I'm really good. So, like, old people are good and can do it. Like, I'm on the side of old people are good and can do things, yeah? And I think they've got a lot of experience, and whilst they might not be the best at riding the bike at 81, they might still have the mental faculty to run the free world. So, but I don't really know what Alan's point is, really. I've got some Doritos, though.
It's the hands of time, right?
I'm winning.
Words such as unknown and unsure. How can he do another 3 or 4 years? And the other one, Trump, the words used about him is criminal, dangerous, and disgusting. That's the 3 words the posters used about him. This is a one-word survey. Describe your president in one word. Describe Trump in one word. And that's the words they come up with.
That's a really cool survey. Describe Joe Biden in one word. And describe Trump in one word. And you know what? There's 2 things I've got to say. One, I said I was winning, but actually I just bit down on the Dorito and it hurt the roof of my mouth. So I'm not winning anymore. The one word I would describe Joe Biden with is sleepy. You know why? Donald Trump said it. Sleepy Joe Biden. Joe, I saw Joe, I said, Joe, he's so sleepy. Joe could fall asleep. I said, Joe, you're so sleepy. You could fall asleep. So Joe, I would say sleepy is my word for Joe Biden. I don't think he's sleepy. I just think that's what Donald Trump said. And it sticks. And for Donald Trump, I guess arsehole. Am I allowed to say giant arsehole? It's 2 words, isn't it? All right. Selfish arsehole. No, he's a bit of a cardboard man, Donald Trump, isn't he? Because along the way, he got his name on loads of stuff, but no, he didn't actually have a load of money all the time. That was all leverage and this and that. I don't know. Yeah. They're my words, I suppose. Good words.
It's a new way of doing a poll, you see.
It's a new way of doing a poll, you see. Alan's sort of just embellishing things here. It's not a new way of doing a poll. It's not, you've never seen a poll like that before, so you just embellished it there.
So what does our main enemy think? And I call him the enemy because I believe he is. Putin. What does Putin think of America? Does he think they're weak and it'd be easy prey at the moment?
Is this how you're going to frame the Tucker Carlson interview? Weird. Oh,
you for sure. I was busy that day.
It's going to be all stuttery.
Dreams. No, we haven't achieved our aims yet because one of them is the Nazification. This means the prohibition of all kinds of neo-Nazi movements. This is one of the problems that we discussed during the negotiation process, which ended in Istanbul early this year.
Would you be satisfied with the territory that you have now?
I will finish answering the question. You just asked the question about neo-Nazism. We're willing to solve it.
Putin.
Sorry, loads and loads of this now. Alan's going to fill up the rest of his show with just loads of videos from somewhere else.
To reach out to America to maybe get rid of this.
I mean, to be fair, I'm watching loads of videos from somewhere else.
Gaza conflict. Is that what he's on about? Possibly. Right. What about Joe's worst gaffes? We made a little collection for you. Just to let you know that it's not just now and again. It's nearly every podium in the world he goes to.
Ukraine to make changes to fix the broken immigration system here. We also need Congress to make the changes to fix the broken immigration system here at home.
Well, that was America's 81-year-old President Joe Biden confusing Congress for Ukraine while speaking about fixing the immigration system that is broken under his leadership. Joe Biden is the oldest president in America's history, and as he gears up to run again in 2024, the concerns around his age, his energy and mental focus continue to rise. He's been criticised as news media evader as he doesn't front up to the cameras nearly as often
This one isn't skipping.
as his predecessor. But when he does, well, it's not always smooth sailing. Here's the president having a laugh as he tries to communicate with reporters that he'll be taking 2 questions.
Thank you. Look, we're going to alternate asking questions. We're going to ask a total of each ask 2 questions. I will ask the first question. I will recognize the first question asker. I'll ask a question to y'all too. But Danny Kemp.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that, actually. He just explained it quite easily. We're going to skip past all this bollocks. I want to see what Alan's saying.
Oh, is that the end? Oh no, that's the end. I was enjoying that. I've only got one more left.
You're enjoying watching Sky News instead of doing your stream.
One more cringy show, one more cringy video about our Joe. We shouldn't be laughing at the President of the United States, should we? What was the Chinese thinking, the Russians, if we're laughing at him? I don't know if America's laughing at him. I don't know. But the people that voted him, what are they doing? You guys that voted for him, what are you doing?
One of them is quite a supporter of you, isn't she?
You tell me, what are you doing?
Thank everybody for being here today. I am joined by a member of the Texas legislature, and we're here to explain to America.
Alan,
we are dealing with.
What are you doing? Herky-jerky, people talking.
Chaos and several thousand people a day.
No, the thing is, at Alan's end, he's just watching these videos, probably playing on his poker or whatever. He's not aware that they're herky-jerky for the people out there, because it's the upload and the, the stream that he's not getting to work properly, is he? He's got an ad blocker on there. Look, it says ads blocked, 6 ads blocked, total ad block. He's using ad blocker because he can't have a YouTube Prime account, so the ads keep coming up. So now he's using ad blocker.
An almost non-existent number. So
see, the point is I'm trying to make. It's not about senile politicians on any side. It's about the immigrants coming into our countries. This is the point I'm trying to make.
What?
I need someone younger to sort this out. Well, your country's going to be overrun. My country's already overrun. Every Saturday and Sunday in London now, all it is protests. Gaza protests. This, Gaza. London, every weekend. You're going to get that in America. But we're saturated. You're such a big country, you may not notice it completely everywhere, but we're saturated. And we haven't got the schools for them. We haven't got the housing for them. We haven't got the hospitals for them. We haven't got the housing for them. They're no interest in learning English or integrating or anything other than complaining and standing on our statues and taking away our culture. Oh, my culture's going. My culture's going. We can't even put a Union Jack up in the street. Oh, no, don't fly the Union Jack. You're upsetting people. They will fly the Palestinian flags, the ISIS flags.
ISIS. Of course, you can fly a Union flag in the street. There is no law against flying a Union flag in the street. If you go down to the Free Palestine protest and then start waving your Union flag in the face of the protesters to incite more riot, then you might have trouble. Obviously, I completely disagree with all Alan's bollocks.
They will come out in masks. They will shut down our schools if they don't like what we're doing. They're scared teachers so much they're going to go into hiding. If they mention something bad about the Quran, they have to go into hiding forever, our teachers. Our councils are scared stiff to take on any religious fraction in case we upset them. So we let child grooming gangs take over the Midlands because they're a certain religion and we don't want to upset that religion. It needs a whole new leadership.
So that was all racist, fascist, anti-Islamist. I don't agree with it.
You're going to be overrun. They're going to take us over like the Trojan horse. They're going to take over you, America. They're going to take over Europe. And we don't even know it. They've already done it in London. They've taken over London. And now they will spread out and take over the country. And before you know it, they'll have their own MPs. And then they'll have their own Prime Minister. And then they'll change it to Sharia law.
We've been here before, Alan. We've had Muslim MPs. They exist now. It's not a bad thing. They're not trying to change it to Sharia law. This is just weird. Like, why has he gone into the racist scaremongering at the end of this episode?
Don't you understand what they're doing? I'm making a stand. Biden is too old to stand up to this. If he can forget simple lines, how is he going to work out how to stop this flow of immigrants? They just told you in Texas, it went up to $11 billion a year to spend it on these immigrants. And they go, no more, no mass, no more, no more. And now it's at a trickle. Because what you're going to do is say no. You're going to say no, you're not coming into our country. To take over our country and bring your own law and cause havoc and complain about everything and want your own way. Have you ever seen a Catholic terrorist now these days? Like, not anymore, is there? Do you see a Buddhist terrorist? There has been some. There has been Catholic ones, the IRA. But you don't see any other religion terrorize us like, the one religion that's like terrorizing the world, yeah? So
It's now we're specifying specifically hardcore Islamophobia here. Like, obviously, there are a lot. I'm laughing, but it's just fucking stupid, isn't it? Like, you don't see a Buddhist terrorist. You have, like, there have been. There's been all sorts of different ones. As Alan specified, there's been Irish ones fairly recently. We classify them as terrorists. They don't seem so, like. I mean, I'm laughing, so I don't think I need to take that apart and like do a logical, breakdown. It's just fucking ridiculous. Buddhist terrorists. Many Buddhist. Let me find out if there's been Buddhist terrorists. Yeah, there's been some Buddhism terrorism in Japan. Or at least there's hardline Buddhist monks. Face of Buddhist terror, monk Riathru honoured. The Buddhist Bin Laden. This is. The Buddhist Bin. I'm laughing, but it's bad because, like, he's been going at the Rohingyas, and there you go. That's the Buddhist Bin Laden, anyway. Whipped up a load of bad feeling against Muslims.
Well, that's what I'm saying about. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's not about seeing our world leaders. It's about seeing what they're doing, what's being done from without and within. They're taking us over from within. I don't want to leave it there because I don't want to upset politics, religion. No, don't touch it. The reason I've done this tonight is because I'm worried about you, America, being flooded by these Chinese cells and the other cells that are coming into America. And I know the cells of young men that are coming into my country. I see them. Oh, we've had 200 people come on a boat today. They're all aged 20 to 25 men. How's that not an army? How's it not an army coming over to sit and wait for the right words? You imagine them in every city and someone goes back, right, attack. We won't know what hit us. Don't say I haven't warned you.
That's got to be one of the most stupid things I've ever heard in my life.
Don't say I haven't warned you. If you're not worried for yourself, at least worry for your children and your grandchildren. Because they've got 50 years' time. In my country, another 10 million, 8 million people coming into my country. In another 10 years, there'll be 8 million more.
It's not your country. I want my country back from idiots like you, Alan. It's not your country. We share it. It's not your country. You got no special God-given right to anything here, mate. You're not some special person. Barely paid into the tax. Well, you didn't pay into the tax system, did you? Skanked everyone in this country, didn't you, Alan? Ripped us all off. Stealing from us. Not paying your tax.
They are what colour they are. It's their state of mind.
It's their religion, according
Their
to you,
culture.
mate.
Their medieval culture they're bringing with them. Like a medieval culture that we done with that 500 years ago. You're not allowed to be gay. You're not allowed to be a woman. You're not allowed to drive a car. You're not allowed. You're not allowed. You're not allowed. You're not allowed.
You're not allowed to be Islamic.
Is it too late? I'm losing my identity, let alone my country, let alone Europe, let alone the West.
Why are you losing your identity because someone that's poor and Islamic comes across on a boat and requires help to get onto the basic foothold of life, whereupon they can get a job and start contributing and, live? Why does that affect you in a negative?
We used to look up to America. It's hard to look up to America when they're becoming a joke. Politics in America, it's like Australia laughing at you. Australia, they're making jokes about your country every night, Australia. Somebody wake up.
I think what's happening there, Alan, is the Australian media are pretty much hardline right-wing. They're owned by the Murdochs, aren't they? and they want to try and infect the conversation about America, and they've definitely got a political position. So they're making jokes about Joe Biden. It seems like very straightforward political, like propaganda paid for. You're an idiot. You've sucked it up, and you're the idiots that believe it, and then go into army action for the, oh, I think this, oh, the immigrants, like, or are you just stoking up nonsense at the end of your rumble? Like, what was that about?
Thanks for watching Armchair Detective. And I'm sorry if anything we said tonight's upset you. I'm not on any political party side. I think they're all rubbish. I think someone needs to start with a clean sweep and a new broom. And let's bring Europe back to Europe and the USA back to the Americans.
What? What does let's bring Europe back to Europe and let's bring the USA back to the Americans even mean? I think what happened was he did a thing about Biden. And I think what might have happened is because he's on Rumble. Now, I don't know how many you got watching this. He's obviously only had 200 views, so not many. I think maybe he got some political opinions going on in his chat and he thought, oh, I'll play up to this and I'll go against have a pop at the Islams at the end. Having a bit of a pop at the Islams. Where did that come from, though? It wasn't even the topic of the episode. He just went off it about the Islams at the end. He's a proper Burke, isn't he? Oh, he's a proper bellend. Not to mean him alarm and distress. He's a proper bellend. If you've watched that on YouTube, if I cut that for YouTube, then you be good, and if you can't be good, you notice.
High heels on my tippies. High heels on my tippies.
M-I-M-P. M-I-M-P.
Harassment or unwanted behaviour that makes someone feel degraded, humiliated or offended. True threats of violence, serious expressions of intent to commit acts of unlawful violence. Misinformation, false and inaccurate information, false rumours, insults, pranks. Deliberate misinformation includes malicious context, propaganda,
80s
false
sexual
statements, obscenity, swearing, sexual obscenity, revenge porn. All these things are easy to ban.
AD's sexual deviant, AD's a con-man, AD's a crook, AD owes tax.
You know what shouldn't be on YouTube.
There is no child porn on the internet. I hate to warn you that. There is no child porn on the internet. I checked. AD, 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 AD!
I play those buttons now. It's like I play them like a keyboard now.
Where's Nancy?
High heels on.
Where's Nancy? Where do I want it? Where's Nancy?
High heels on.
Where's Nancy? Where do I...
High heels.
Where's Nancy? Where do I want it? Where is Nancy anyway? The blonde one, the dark one. Where's Nancy? The blonde one, the dark one, and the butch one. I don't remember the names.
Where's Nancy? I got a big armchair. Where's Nancy?
I think it'd be quite funny if all the ladies that he has that watch him that give him money, if they all turned up at his house and he had to cook them all dinner and then do his show just like live with them sat there. I wonder what that would be like.
Where's Nancy?
I know it's childish.
I don't know what you heard about me, but no bitch can get $1 out of me. No Cadillac, no perms you can't see. I'm just a mother.
Where's Nancy?
M-I-M-P.
Where is Nancy anyway? Torture the battery boy.
The buttons are the best thing, really, aren't they? New favourite thing, basically.
Did David Icke penetrate you with his penis?